Our next bout is brought to you by Mad Tatter Studios. This is a championship bout in the super heavyweight division. First, out of the red corner, please welcome to the cage, Michael Snapp.
All right, first out is Michael Bedrock Snapp out of Newport Combat Club in Newport, Tennessee. Michael Snapp at 4-1, 3 KOs in his career. Michael Snapp weighed in this super heavyweight bout at 212 or over, 297 pounds. Casey, tell us about Michael Snapp.
Well, there are two reasons they call this guy Bedrock. You know, first, the reason is that he is like a piece of steel. Like, you beat him up, you throw the kitchen sink at him, and he still keeps coming. The other reason is he looks kind of like Fred Flintstone. So, you know, he's a great guy, a great character, and he knows how to fight, and he delivers a great show, win, lose, or draw. And, you know, he's a former MMA champion as well, but, you know, the most entertaining portion of his fights have always been the stand-up, and that's what we're going to get here. This
is a kickboxing bout for the vacant super heavyweight bout, 212 or over. The title was vacated by Dustin Capel. This will be 5 2-minute rounds and K1 rules in order here. The 25-year-old Michael Snapp, a former Apex MMA champion, good heart, great chin, and you wouldn't think about the cardio being good, but he's known for having sort of deceptively good cardio.
Well, I'll say this, you know, you look at him, you don't think, man, that you necessarily say that's a typical athlete. But I'll say this, when you have these muscled up guys that are pure muscle, that muscle requires oxygen and blood and all these things to fuel them. You know, when you actually have a little layer of fat there, that actually goes a long way in your cardio. It's crazy. You don't have too much, so it weighs you down.
Right.
But a little bit in the tank there can't, you know, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing.
Interesting. So this bout is for that vacant title, and there's gonna be a huge difference in weight between these two. But hey, it happens at 212 or over. Do you think, even for kickboxing, there should be more of a split up type of divisions?
You know, I don't know. I mean, you know, in MMA you've got 265 and up, and that's right. That's your super heavyweight cutoff. You know, classically in boxing, it's always been 205 and up, and that's how they've always done it. And it's an amateur fight, you know, so there's headgear, there's a lot of protection. That's not for me to say. I think it's going to be a great fight to watch, and so it probably wouldn't have happened if there was a cutoff there. So I'm glad the fight happened regardless.
And we'll see Michael Bedrock Snapp get into the cage here in just 1 second. They're working on his headgear. Valor Fights 27 at the International here in Knoxville, and our bout tonight, proceeds going to Fighting for Autism, as Valor Fights always doing great work with terrific organizations. And Fighting for Autism develops autism therapy in educational centers, mentors autistic children, and conducts seminars to address autism and bullying. More information, valorfights.com and fightingforautism.com.au. Back to the cage and Jennifer Oxendine.
And his opponent out of the OEB blue corner, please welcome to the cage, John Moore.
John Moore with a shot at the vacant super heavyweight kickboxing title here with Valor Fights. John Moore, 5-1, 2 KOs in his career, fighting out of Shield Systems here in Knoxville, Tennessee. Of course, the home of Scott Hot Sauce Holtzman and many other terrific fighters, and boy, the training that you get as well. Tell us a little bit about 28-year-old John Moore at 5-1.
Well, you know, just like we said at the opening, John Moore is a Shield Systems classically trained Muay Thai competitor. This guy is very, very tough. And he comes in at again, a huge weight disadvantage, but hey, he comes to fight. And again, you know, it says here that he's an actor on the side.
How about that?
So, you know, this only adds as a testament to that character as well.
Yeah, Lee University graduate, degree in telecommunications, and last time out defeated Chris Encias at Valor Fights 22 in March by decision, and the training there that we've talked about, Ben Harrison and Jeff Jimmo, and boy, he's trained 6 years there. Was a 2013 Muay Thai Classic Super Heavyweight champion as well. 2014 Muay Thai Classic Super Heavyweight runner-up, and we'll see the fighting skills of John Moore on display here tonight against Michael Snapp. For official fighter introductions, back to the cage and Jennifer Oxendine.
This bout is scheduled for 5 2-minute rounds. First, out of the Hog's red corner, he is the former Apex heavyweight champ. He weighed in at 297 pounds and has a record of 4 wins and 1 defeat. Representing Newport Combat Club in Newport, Tennessee, put your hands together for Michael Bedrock Snapp. And his opponent, out of the OEB blue corner, he weighed in at 240 pounds and holds a record of 5 wins and 1 defeat. Representing Shield Systems in Knoxville, Tennessee, please put your hands together for John Moore. Your referee for this fight, Josh Ward.
Josh Ward, our referee in this title fight for the vacant Valor Super Heavyweight Kickboxing title. That means 5 2-minute rounds, 212 and up. It's Michael Bedrock Snapp in the black trunks, black gloves against John Moore in the black trunks and red gloves, and we are underway.
And there we have it. Moore already setting up those kicks. Bedrock looking to close the distance, get inside. We've talked about the height difference in the last 2 bouts. This one, a lot more at stake, man. These guys are slinging some heavy leather here.
Yeah, Snapp's reaction looked like he might have took it below the belt, but no stoppage there as Josh Ward did not see it. 57 pounds the difference between these two, with Snapp having that extra weight.
Snapp leading in with that left hook. He's been caught twice there by John Moore. Coming in, Michael Snapp continues to throw.
Moore has let the legs go as well, and then right on cue, a kick. Five 2-minute rounds here for the super heavyweight kickboxing title, vacated by Dustin Capel. Guys pacing themselves here, Casey?
I think somewhat, but I think with Michael Snapp, he needs to keep the pressure on because John Moore, he's a sharpshooter. Oh, that was a big left hand there by Michael Snapp. John Moore shakes it off. Like I said, Moore, a sharpshooter. He's landing high, he's landing low. He's setting up those kicks very beautifully. Excellent technique.
Moore charging in, but he ate a shot from Snapp on the way in.
Absolutely, but undaunted, both of these guys. Snapp, he's looking a little bit more desperate, though. It's harder for him to find his range. And
final seconds of round number 1. A looping shot at the end, touch of gloves.
Well, that's the thing, with Michael Snapp, his left hook is his entrance, it's his exit, it's his everything, and John Moore sees that, and he's staying out of harm's way, if you will. I think that first round definitely goes to John Moore. He looked very crisp, but this is a 5-round fight. So, a lot of things can change as the bout goes on, and the pressure
here, Casey.
continues.
What do you see?
Well, again, it's Michael Snapp looking for that left hook. Even reached for the legs there, maybe stemming from his time as Apex MMA champion.
Is there anything that you would be telling Moore here if he feels like he won that first round in terms of strategy, things to do?
I would say even more of the same. Keep it high, keep it low, keep the distance. Watch out for the left hook, and you're going to be good. Again, the only time you're going to need to look at adjusting is if something happens, maybe Moore gets caught or fatigue starts to set in to where he can't keep the range that he wants, and that's when Michael Snapp becomes very dangerous.
Round 2 underway, overhand right by Moore. And Snapp is has the black gloves. while Moore in the red gloves. 57 pounds, the difference between these two. Title on the line.
And again, John Moore just getting off in every way before Michael Snapp can even move. He just, his timing is just better right now.
Moore, nice uppercut. First one we've seen from him.
Yeah.
He's keeping the hands up as well.
Oh, that was a big shot there by Moore, overhand right.
Seeing a wide arsenal, very versatile from Moore so far, changing it up.
Big overhand right coming from Michael Snapp.
That was cartwheel-esque. That was a big one, but it did not connect. We're the midway through round number 2. Oh, that one loud, heard throughout the international here, and down goes Moore.
Yeah. Essentially shoved him down using that mass. And, you know, honestly, I think that's what Michael Snapp needs to do. He needs to get a little bit more physical with this fight. These are heavyweights. If you have that weight advantage, utilize that weight advantage. Even though it's not technically part of the fight itself, it can definitely wear on you.
And some feints there from Moore. And Snapp charges in. You'd like to see him do more of that?
Well, you know, not necessarily like for him to, but I think that Michael Snapp, he has to stay on the inside in order to be successful here. He's got to avoid that teep. You know, it looked like Snapp landed, you know, a good body kick there, and then instantly John Moore followed up with a beautiful left hook.
Interesting that Snapp tried to go to a head kick to the taller fighter.
Yeah, ended up being a solid body kick.
Yeah, and it maybe got a little off balance because of it. Who would you give that second round?
Yeah, I'm going to give it to John Moore again.
Yeah.
And what I'm seeing here is that while Michael Snapp definitely has the size, I don't think that he has the snap and the precision on his strikes. Even when he does land, he doesn't land with the intensity that John Moore does. Now, that being said, I think that perhaps Michael Snapp may have a little bit more durability because he comes with a little bit more mass, so he can maybe take some, you know, take more. Yeah, so it's an interesting analogy. Yeah.
We talked about it earlier, Casey. The assumption is that the bigger guy is going to have the worst cardio,
right,
but he's known for having pretty good cardio. It looks like it might be tested here tonight.
Certainly, and I think John Moore is known for his cardio as well. I mean, these are good athletes. These are good fighters, and you know, I think that Michael Snapp's best chance of taking the fight here is for him to keep the pressure on, wear on John Moore, make him tired, and then get him in the later rounds.
So the hometown fighter, John Moore from Knoxville Shield Systems, may have won the first 5 2-minute rounds in this kickboxing bout for the vacant super heavyweight kickboxing title of Valor Fights. Sharp.
And again, I think that the key here has been the right teep of John Moore, as well as the right leg kick of John Moore. It's resounding when it lands. You can hear it. The judges can hear it. There it is again. And really, Michael Snapp has no answer for it other than stuffing him, staying in his face to where he doesn't have a chance to load up either of those kicks, because when Moore has range, he certainly utilizes them.
Moore looks sharp here to start this third round. And
here it comes, finds that angle again. Look for that right leg kick to follow as before. Boom.
Yep. And that stunned Snapp's plan of attack on the entry. They ate a right as well. Now tries to answer.
Exactly. And beautiful setup there by John Moore. He comes in, he throws a few straight shots. He gets Michael Snapp thinking that he's throwing hands, then bam, out of nowhere, here comes that right kick. I think he perhaps smells blood here, does John Moore.
Yeah.
I think he stunned Michael Snapp over in the corner a little bit earlier, and now he's really turning up the heat.
It was a clean combination, jab, straight right. And that stunned Snapp, and I don't know if he's recovered since then. Final 20 seconds of this third round. You can see Snapp staggering a little bit. He is tired.
A little bit of fatigue, but he may be rattled as well.
Yeah.
Oh, you heard that one.
The crowd reacted to it as well.
And you mentioned that anger response. I think that could have been a little bit of anger. That one stung.
Are you okay with that as a trainer when you see guys do that?
You know, I mean, honestly, Snapp needed something there to get him back in. And, you know, I don't care. You know, I'd rather him jump right back into Moore's face at this point than to back away because you can't win that way. So, you know, it's I don't like anybody to lose their composure by any means. But, you know, if it wakes your fighter up, then it is what it is.
Take us to this replay you're casing.
Well, again, you know, you see it's been all John Moore outside. He times those strikes and then delivers those kicks right off of it. There it is. It's so clean. Just beautiful technique by John Moore and securing another round here. I got it 3-0 for John Moore and Shield Systems.
So a great start for John Moore, who is looking to move his record in kickboxing to 6-1, but more importantly, he could snatch and hold on to that Valor super heavyweight kickboxing championship. An interesting conversation it looked like with the Snapp up against it. Looked pretty tired during that round, but the crowd, his corner really into it. Michael Snapp looks to have a lot of work to do here so far as we start round number 4, 5 2-minute rounds.
But again, these are the heavyweights,
yeah.
So again, you never know. You know, I mean, you could have a fight going one direction for 5 rounds, and in the last second, you know, a big shot come and change everything. So that could happen. But as of right now, I see John Moore in the driver's seat here. He's completely in control and on his way to another title.
We don't have strike percentage stats necessarily, but that to me looks clearly in the favor of Moore as well.
Undoubtedly. And just purely, you know, clean strikes.
Yeah.
That was a big left hook right there.
And boy, you just see the versatility of Moore. Go to the body, then back upstairs. He'll throw straights. He's really changing it up. He'll punch coming in. He'll punch when he's being charged.
Yeah. And here, just, you know, Moore sort of, I believe, senses blood somewhat. You know, he's seeing that Snapp's slowing down just a little bit. He's timing everything, and now he's putting a little more bump on everything he throws, maybe looking for a stoppage. You can see it.
Moore has 2 KOs in his career. Oh,
it's a sign of a seasoned veteran here.
Man, maybe 3
now. Yeah,
4.
Snapp's taking a lot of damage here, but yet fires back with a right hand of his own.
Yeah, Snapp is getting his head snapped back on a regular basis here in this 4th round. Clean shots from Moore. Faked the Superman punch and then hit a combination again. Man, Moore is accurate with those shots. And Moore's not going to take any chances here in the final
that
few
left
seconds.
hand of Snapp down by his waist. Right hand not too far from it. Another big round for John Moore. That's 4-0 in my estimation. And man,
kind of looked like, I'm sorry, guys, he looked like he faked the right and then came around with a left hook, which he hadn't really done a ton. And that landed a shot there at the very end of round number 4. All John Moore to this point.
You know, props again to Michael Snapp for continuing to push forward. He's fighting hard. You know, he's got a ton of heart. He's a great character, a lovable guy. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it's, you know, but he does it because he loves it, man. You know, and he'll never put his hands up and walk away. He's a tough competitor and a great kickboxing main event here.
What do you see here in this replay?
Well, again, more of the same. You know, Michael Snapp attempting to close the distance and land a big shot, while John Moore, you know, sets up everything that he throws and lands very, very clean and causing lots of pain to Michael Snapp.
All right, so corners disperse from the cage. Our referee, Josh Ward, looks at both corners. We'll close the cage, and we're ready for the 5th and final round here. 5 2-minute rounds for the vacant super heavyweight kickboxing title from Valor. Snapp is going to have to find a way to finish and change this around, or else Moore is going to walk out of here with the title.
Absolutely, and that was a big shot there by Moore, and follows it up with a beautiful combination.
Just clean to the body, and then
Again,
upstairs.
big left hook.
Oh,
spinning back fist.
Something else that Snapp has shown. Oh, Superman punch, I believe, and Snapp is
stunned. And continues to follow up with that perpetual motion, but Snapp fires back.
You could see he does. You said it earlier. He smells blood, and he knows he's close.
Well, you know, you talk about the heavyweights maybe cooling off as the fight goes on and slowing down because of the cardio. No, man, you can see John Moore is a very keen strategist. He knows when to turn up the heat, and that body shot hurt.
Wow. Moore went in at 240.
He's got 45 seconds to finish this fight. But regardless, I think it's going to be John Moore every round across the board.
Really no reason to have it any other way on the judges' scorecards when we are done, if we get there with 28 seconds left in round number 5. Man, the body shots for Moore. You gotta love that. And then a hook to the side of Snapp. And so that brings the hands down from Snapp, trying to protect those body shots.
Oh, that was a big shot there. That might be the best punch of the fight.
I caught Snapp coming in and connected.
And Snapp still standing at the end of this fight. A beautiful performance. But John Moore, but man, you know, props to Michael Snapp for staying in there, and delivering a heck of a show.
Yeah, the heart of these two. And look at Michael Snapp, he's taking a seat in the cage. He is absolutely exhausted. John Moore looks like he could keep going as this completely went his way. A dominant performance by John Moore. Let's take a look at the replay here, Casey. Tell us what you see.
Well, again, more of the same. That was that big right hand we talked about earlier. Beautiful shot. Michael Snapp still standing there, his hands by his side. The granite chin of the Bedrock survived the 5 rounds, but I don't think it's going to be enough to take home the gold here. I think we're going to have ourselves a new champion in John Moore. Another belt to the collection.
And more bragging rights for Shield Systems, one of the great camps in Knoxville. There's a number of them. Talk about the Knoxville kickboxing and MMA scene.
Well, you know, just like you said, Shield Systems, Ben Harrison, very soft-spoken individual. You don't hear him out on the street corners preaching about Shield Systems, but all the guys they produce are tremendous, both grapplers and strikers. Of course, KMAA, everybody knows them. Now, those are guys that are a little bit more vocal, but they do back it up. You know, but then you see other camps like Team Chaos with Josh Cade. He's been around for years. You've got Hatchers who just came out. And, you know, if I'm missing anybody, it's only because there's so many great teams. And, you know, and, of course, later tonight we're going to see Bullman's in action. We don't see him a lot. You know, this will be the first time in a while. But Terry Bullman, I'm sure he's going to deliver as well.
Yeah, and this is a great night here. The International Valor Fights 27 in Knoxville is well represented. All right, back to the cage. Announcement of our official decision from the judges' scorecards. Here's Jennifer Oxendine.
All 3 of your judges score this bout 50-45 for your Valor Super Heavyweight Champ out of the OEB blue corner, John Moore.